collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus. Children of Primus.
I did catch that, by the way.
There you go.
You sent out a message like be sure to get here. So I have a bunch of things that aren't ready, but I was like, I immediately jumped in front of here.
Nice. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I caught real bad con crud. Specifically, I had COVID straight up.
Right.
Yeah.
Had or still
Um, don't no longer still have, but today's the first day where I didn't test positive,
have? Yikes.
which is why I'm out here like this.
I didn't know it could run through you so quick.
I don't know. It was pretty mild, honestly. Which bummed me out because I'm like, if I gotta be stuck up in my room, at least at least put me through the ringer to make it worth it. But I was sleepy one day and I just had mad phlegm for the next 5 days, and that was it.
Oh, jeez.
You lucked out.
Yeah. Jess is sick now though, so
Oh dear. Oh dear.
yeah, she'll be fine. I was fine.
And
I don't
Tor,
have any.
how are you doing?
Yeah, you have a fancy background now.
Ooh.
I finally replaced the other KB toy case with a matching one of the tall ones. So now that huge lot of tie-in stuff I got from the toy museum can finally be played.
Nice.
Yeah,
Who else?
I see
Who else
the
do you know has
mask.
Transformer roller skates, man?
Truly a unique item.
Exactly.
I just like the colors and iconography that are around you in that setup.
Mm. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And Mario, welcome again. Mario says this was an interesting idea for an intro. Tell us what you think, and also says, oh, and hello to you guys, by the way.
Hello, Mario Rocha.
Hello.
What's going on, Mario?
Did here's what I want to know. Was that all original animation, or was any of that repurposed from Impactor's previous stuff? Because it looked original to me, but I haven't seen every single thing he's done.
Original. We'd actually the idea to him from what was it, I think around fall of last year, because initially I was thinking 2025 will start a new season, but then after it's like holidays and everything, and I'm like, you know what, TFCon will be like our new season for this year. So he was working on it for most of the winter and the spring. When he
Ooh.
finished his, then I added like the music and everything else to it. So it's still, I would say it still has some rough edges, but I like it for exactly what it is.
Yeah. Amazing that's what took him months, when usually he's like, oh, I banged out a whole animation in like 30 minutes in the car going from one place to another.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times he wanted to mention it, and I'm like, nope, we got to keep this one under wraps until I actually release it.
Yeah. Speaking of things that you kept under wraps, I need to get myself a cup of coffee because I'm quite burned out from all the irregular sleep I've been getting because of my illnesses. And look at the convenient mug that I have to drink it out of.
There you go.
Yeah,
All of us
I didn't know about these either. I actually lied. I haven't put coffee in this yet. I need to, but
Well, you know what? For the Teletran 1 segment, you can fill your mugs with water, juice, any like Gatorade, tea. But for Teletran 2, you can have it with anything and everything. So if regular water, coffee, spiked water, coffee,
Got it.
whatever,
Straight rum.
straight rum.
Wait a minute, hold on. Us adults should be able to have the adult beverages in the first segment because we have to put up with Impactor. Oh, hi, Impactor. Hi.
Yeah, where is our dude anyway?
I'm not sure. I know sometimes he will come in a little bit late. Hopefully he does get to join us because for this segment, like we'll only briefly touch upon TFCon stuff. But we'll more mention speak on the animation, on some of the stop motion, but then also speak on the release of the Transformers cyber world, which I find quite
Mhm.
quite interesting. Um, and James Coleman in the comments, hey, how's it going? Saw you at TFCon as well, and said, hey guys, at TFCon got autographs from Tania and Evan, got Legacy G1 Ramjet Armada Hotshot, Skybite, and got the Walmart Thundertron 3-pack for $60 at a dealer table. Nice.
Mhm.
It's quite the haul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saving until Teletran 2 to show mine off. I don't have a good setup here yet to like pan over to a table, so I just took a photo and I'll just be like, here, look at my photo. Let me circle things with my mouse.
Look at this photograph.
Oh, there's my cat. So.
Gosh.
she's just been hollering at birds all evening. It's been funny. You can tell she sees them because her tail wags, and then she'll start chittering at them.
Oh, cats are funny when they're just like, yep, there's something.
Yeah, you tell them, Kathy. You tell them.
There's something there I need to kill.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Usually such sane animals, and then they'll hear a bird, and their pupils will contract, and it'll be like kill mode activated.
Mhm.
All previous emotions suspended.
When it's funny when how Toywarp said, look at this picture. It almost reminds me of that meme from like years ago, which ties in with that meme of that's been basically shutting down the internet for the last couple of days.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that is just everywhere, isn't it?
I don't think I've seen anything to that extreme. Like the internet has its ways of just tearing things apart, but I can't recall something at that level that it even hit the news. So like that's like everyone and like you tune into like Facebook for a minute and I'm like even the comments are like, "Oh, look, another meme that I haven't seen like 4.5 seconds ago."
People are being creative.
Oh, some of them are quite funny.
My favorite so far has been He-Man holding Skeletor.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yeah, those two aren't supposed to be together.
no. Like any TV show or movie you could think of, I think everybody's touched upon it, even to the point they're like, wait a second, aren't those two like brothers? Like they shouldn't be in this thing.
You see the one where they were at a game in Philly and they did the kiss cam, and then they did one that they'd staged where two of the Philly Flyers mascots were like doing the exact pose in the suits, and they replicated it beat for beat. Yeah, that's good marketing.
That's you cannot pay for that kind of marketing. Like that's billions of dollars in marketing.
Yeah, talking about the a lot of places, sports places, using their kiss cam to the Coldplay cam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's more than. It makes sense that there'd be more than one.
Oh, I know there's more than one.
Mario's saying, I'm wondering since we got the San Diego Comic-Con coming up, if you'd also do another Sunday stream covering up that.
When is SDCC? Let me look that up real quick.
That would be interesting. One thing, it'd be cool for it, but we are not going to be there physically to cover. I know there's
July
a few other
24th.
channels that may be there. You say July 24th?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so like next weekend.
Yeah.
July 24th to 27th. Like, so they stretch that weekend out.
which I think Colin from TFCon was saying the next American TFCon was getting stretched out for 3 days, because usually Friday is dealer setup and a few panels, and then Saturday Sunday is when the guests can come by. But I think he was saying that guests are coming by from the Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah,
Sunday.
it's funny. Said I'm just going to admit two things here. One is I don't like spiders that much, and the other one is my wife does not like snails that much. So just putting a spider on a snail and waving it in the camera, it's like, screw both of you. I'm actually
I was
okay
gonna
with that,
say,
but it's just funny.
Finn's friend has a new friend, the spider,
Yeah.
because I think what I called it, he didn't notice the crown or something. He said the snail instead of king snail, and I was like, "You filthy peasant!" So
Oh yeah, that's a nice thing.
then the little death skull on it, that just makes it
Yeah,
creepier.
that's interesting, and I'll avoid talking about it till stream number two. But the TFCon exclusives that I picked up, out of the it wound up being four because they dropped one the day of the show. They were like, this is a limited first release. So I'm like, so it's not an exclusive? And then what I found out is like, it's actually an SDCC exclusive, just the dealer convinced them to let them release a few of them early at TFCon.
Interesting.
We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Um, and it's still on TFCon. James Coleman says, on the TFCon third panel party show, what do you think of Fan Toys third party Fortress Maximus? I have Fan Toys Hannibal Cerebros from a few years ago.
Oh, that's another one of the, as they call them, divorce class things.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It hasn't actually seen release yet, but because they released Hannibal, which he's mentioning, is just the Cerebros head unit. They've already released that as its own thing.
Okay.
And it's like masterpiece scaled, so people can do math, and people are like, oh, Fort Max is going to be huge. Apparently they're going to part it out, like it's going to be released in like components instead of as in one drop.
Okay.
Because there was a little model kit Fort Max they did a few years ago by Kabaya that was done the same way, where you actually bought it in three chunks, and they sort of, I mean, it's still the G1 transformation and everything, just scaled down, but they've kind of BS'd like base modes for the three chunks as well,
Okay.
and you just combine them into the big robot. So I think they're going to do that writ large with the gigantic person-sized Fort Max.
Okay. Okay.
Size Fort Max. Jeez.
Yeah, like let me see if I can find some info on this. See how tall it's actually supposed to be.
Okay.
Fans, toys.
I almost
Fort
bought a G1 Fort Max at the toy show I went to over the weekend. You guys at TFCon, we had the Toy Con, and it was the largest Toy Con they've had so far.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like I said,
yeah, tell us some more.
we had the voice of Jem there. Samantha Newark, I believe her name is. Had the guy that was in costume for the original TMNT
Nice.
movie.
Okay. I know. I know who
They
you're.
had a couple of comic artists.
Mhm.
That background actor I was thought was so weird that he. I want to act in a movie or do a voice acting thing or something. So in 20 years, I can just have passive income on that stuff. Like I can't believe this guy was a background actor, no lines, and I'm pretty sure he makes a living at signing autographs and stuff.
That's
Like
crazy.
what?
That's crazy. Well, what movie or was it one?
He was in Back to the Future. I don't remember what else. I mean, there was some pretty important movies. Don't get me wrong, but he was just like background noise, you know?
That's crazy, because I mean,
Yeah.
I was in the background of the first X-Men movie, and I mean,
Yeah, should you be signing autographs?
yeah, I'm not signing autographs. I'm not getting royalties or no. Like, it was basically, we need because it's the scene where by Liberty Island, Ellis Island, and Magneto's using the Statue of Liberty and Rogue to enhance his powers. But that scene where like the delegates and a whole crowd of people are running, I'm in that scene. So basically, it's like, you just get paid for the day to be in that scene. Like it's not something where 30 years, 40 years later, like you're signing autographs.
Yeah.
The question is,
Yeah. Oh yeah, just Fans Toys Fortress Maximus is estimated to be about 1.2 meters tall.
Oh,
the hell's a meter?
About 3 feet.
Makes more sense. All right.
Yeah. There's a nice little comparison image they put out here. Let me see if I can open it up and share my screen real quick.
Now, see, the thing is, you should have been signing autographs on Saturday and Sundays, Ben, because you're Spin of Children of Primus.
Yeah.
James Coleman didn't ask for an autograph. James, you didn't get autographs from these guys. What are you thinking, man?
you know what? Signed mugs. That's
Yeah.
for next year.
So for reference there, to explain what we're looking at, that tiny hot rod, that is Fans Toys Hoodlum. So that's the size of Masterpiece Hot Rod.
Oh,
So that's like a 6-inch figure roughly. Bigger than that, they're like 7-8 inches. It was a pretty big figure. So
dang.
yeah, so that's it's going to be a big guy, based on, and the head is the only part that's been released.
Oh, crap.
I mean, when they talk about a scale, like that is scale to a character.
Yeah, I mean it's accurate, but at what cost? Thousands and thousands of dollars, to be specific.
What's the big Omega next to him?
Oh, Fans Toys, Terminus Giganticus. Their own third-party Omega.
Mm.
It's like, what is your name? Terminus Giganticus.
Yeah, well, they always got to get creative with these names. Whatever reason, the Cerebros that they've made and sold is called Hannibal, and I'm like, if it's a reference to something, I don't know.
I mean, anytime I hear Hannibal, I think of the 18. Yeah, but I'm like, well, I can't associate Cerebros and Hannibal being like, there's no connection there.
Yeah, I'm like, the Anthony Hopkins character. I don't know. I don't think so either. But
Although, I mean, the comic book Fort Max and Toon Fort Max are slightly different. Where, I mean, although technically Fort Max was the leader of the headmaster Autobots, although in the comic I believe he was the leader of the Autobots in general until Optimus came back. So, and Hannibal being the leader of the A-Team, maybe that's the association.
I guess maybe the way it's been handled in stories has been weird, because like in the cartoon, Cerebros was a full guy, and then Fortress Maximus was sort of just something that him and Spike controlled and piloted. It wasn't really a separate entity.
Mm-hmm.
But in Marvel, Cerebros basically didn't exist. Fortress Maximus was the person, and Cerebros was just a thing that the little headmaster, be it Spike or Galen, could pilot around.
Right.
So they like flipped their like sentience of the two between the and then Japan handled it the same way that the Rebirth did, where Cerebros was the guy and Fort Max was like his big thing that he piloted.
Okay. Mario's also saying, I'm curious of what will be revealed at San Diego Comic-Con in terms of Hasbro and Transformers being announced for like next year.
I'll tell you, they have an exclusive there that I'm never going to own because it's really expensive. And I'm like, man, that's the one where I'm gonna share my screen again and pop up the TFW article on it.
Hello, peoples. I've made it.
Yes, there you
Hello,
are.
our child.
The fact that you're zoomed in so close and it's shaking makes it seem like a Batman villain video or something.
I'm on my mom's phone. I just got done working.
Like you have 12 hours or Gotham City is gonna blow up.
I had to hop on.
But you didn't say what you wanted us to do in those 12 hours.
Yes.
Let me just...
Actually, let's quickly look at the screen share.
So what they're doing is they're doing a Void Rival set. So they're re-releasing Commander Jetfire. So it's already a commander. It's really expensive. I hear he's good, but like huge. And then they're doing two little action figures of the Void Rivals that are done in the style of old GI Joe action figures, like vintage '80s ones. They're O-rings and everything. And they're going to come with Jetfire. Uh, Yeah, and they're just replicating the thing from the first issue of Void Rivals where they found him buried there, and they're like, "Oh, good, a spaceship. We can leave this planet." And Jetfire's like, "Oh no, how long have I been asleep?" And
Wow.
then he leaves them behind, as depicted here. But yeah, I would really like this, but it's a commander, so it's expensive. It's an exclusive,
Man,
so
I'm
it'll be
frozen.
expensive. Yeah. Mostly, I just want the two little action figures of the Void
Impactor
Rivals
wants
because
to
they
build a
haven't made any
snowman.
merchandise for that yet.
Hmm.
So that's going to be available there, and I'm like, ooh.
Now, James is saying in terms of the
That's those.
Cerebrals, third party name should be Arthur, not Hannibal.
Yeah. Like if you're talking about King Arthur, he did certainly have the Master Sword. Especially if it's in Japan.
Hmm. And Mario's asking, did most of you guys you have seen a
There we go.
recent figure reveal for this is the Walmart Generations G1 retro line and its sea spray, a new mold, and brawn in toy colors, and a new head.
The fact that you capitalized each letter means it reads like one of those ludicrously long manga titles that's all the rage now. Just put a few exclamation marks at the end.
Keywords.
Yeah, they're doing a new sea spray. That Walmart line where they did the gears and the bumblebee and the nice G1 toy colors and all on the retro cards.
Hmm.
They're doing a sea spray next, and that's notable because it's not a repaint of anything. It's a fully new figure that they've made just for this, which I'm sure means it's going to be helped to hell and back, and nobody will be able to find it because that's what happens every time they do original toolings as exclusives, and you'd think they'd have learned by now, but
Hmm.
But common sense is so rare it's a superpower, hence why they don't learn.
Yeah, this is true.
yeah,
James
they
Thomas says
just
Arthur's sword is Excalibur.
yes, it is. And Fortress Maximus's sword is called the Master Sword, just like it was Legend of Zelda.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's the new Sea Spray. It's just a deluxe-sized figure, and it's designed to look like the original toy instead of the cartoon. Uh, and there he is in his
And I'm trying to remember
boat
the
mode.
cartoon. He's what, darker blue? Like more of a
Yeah,
medium blue, or that's more of a sky blue. And then I can't remember if the face is slightly different.
yeah. And there's the retro card that he's going to be on, which is the thing that people love about this little line of stuff they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because this is like a new figure. It's not a repaint, so this is like the first new Sea Spray in a little while.
I don't miss
Titan's
hunting that stuff
Return. Some
down.
Titan's Return.
It's way more fun hunting down the old stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Which I have.
yeah.
I'll show off a few old things that I got in the Teletran 2 stream.
Oh yeah, I yeah. I'm annoyed that I didn't get to see any of them before we left.
Well, that's the one thing I'm going to say. What is the recent fascination with like these new releases of Sea Spray? And like out of all the mini bots.
Well, people like complete sets of things, right?
Yeah.
If you're collecting. And Sea Spray, like I said, he hasn't gotten a figure since like 2016 or so, nearly a decade ago, 9 years ago at this point. So people wanted a new Sea. They want a complete collection of updated G1 mini bots. So he's one of the last holdouts because they've given them all updates over the last couple of years, but not him.
Hmm.
So he's just the one they haven't gotten around to doing yet.
Okay.
They also haven't done a new wind charger since then. Ron Huffer gears.
Well, Telk.
Or yeah. They haven't done wind charger, tailgate, power glide. No, they did wheelie. Yeah, I think those are the only guys that are missing. Oh, they haven't done swerve yet, but everybody knows he's coming because they already did gears there. You saw him, and obvious retool, so they'll get to him.
Hmm.
But yeah,
They did.
people
They
want
did
complete
wheelie,
sets
but not wind charger. How could they do my boy like that?
because Wheelie was in the movie, so they put him out in studio series. So that's how he
Wind
got to
charger
jump
was
the
in the movie
line.
too for 3 seconds.
As a
Yeah.
corpse.
Yeah, it's funny because they are running out of guys to do in that line noticeably. So they have been doing guys that have been in the movie for like 5 seconds in the background just to have more stuff to put in studio series.
Wow.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't done a wheeljack and wind charger.
They very well might. Remember, they did corpses for the shuttle crew.
Exactly.
They just got to make normal figures of them first, and then they can do repaints like they did with those guys.
It just dawned on. Oh my god! It just dawned on me.
Mhm.
Next year will be the 40th anniversary of the movie.
Oh, they're gonna do something. There's a leaked listings for something in the studio series that's 40th anniversary versions of guys. Probably just like fancy repaints, but still, that's one of the very few things they're going to be doing. Or
I
they'll
just
run
want
it
to
in
watch
theaters again. They run
Yeah,
it in theaters like
yeah, I just want to watch it in the theater again.
Mhm.
I feel like every 3 years or so they find a reason to put it in theaters. At least around here, maybe every 5 years if I'm being generous.
Wow.
That's why seeing the 4 episodes in theaters was such a novelty to me because they didn't just put the movie in again.
Hmm.
Not I sound so jaded. I'm like, no, I'm always up for going to go see that in theaters, but like they've done it several times now.
I'm serious. If you're a fan of the movies, and speaking to the viewers here, not you guys, obviously, yeah. But if you're a fan of the original movie, you need to go see that in theaters because, man, I'm telling you what, there is so much more detail that you catch in
Hmm.
the theater
Hmm.
that you don't get watching it at home. It is
Yeah.
freaking amazing.
It is.
Yeah, like people forget, like the show may have had animation that was done for $5, but the movie had like money behind it when it came to the animation.
Hmm.
They didn't have time, which is why there's so many mistakes, because like everything else, it was a rush job. But they did have money, so everything's nice and detailed.
Yeah, I'll
It's
be.
just,
I had.
there's a part where there's two red frenzy rumbles instead of one, really obviously, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't watched the first 3 episodes of Don season 2 that was shown in movie theaters early, the start of June. They're all out now. Those episodes, but I might wait until the 4th episode, so I'm not stuck waiting. I feel like if I waited this long already to see what happens, I'll just watch it the first 3 again in a small scale and be like, I can't see all the detail now, and then
They've been doing a lot of
finally
that
see
with
what happened.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that recently with anime, where they'll just run the first few episodes in theaters before they're on TV,
And
and
it
then
was
they'll
a
be on TV a little later.
And for that second season, what's going on, the start of it, I'm glad I saw it in theater
Exactly.
scale setting that's going on. You're in a mountain town, and then you're also in like an underground cave where like there's a lot of verticality going on with the setting, as well as just horizontally as well. And then you have a giant Mongolian death worm. So there's a lot of stuff to do that you would see better, appreciate better on that bigger scale.
Mhm.
And obviously, Transformers '86 movie, you don't have to explain. You just got to say Unicron.
Yeah.
Or just the Transformers in general. Even the smaller Transformers are going to be big. Well, maybe not the mini bots like Bumblebee, but in the cassettes. But otherwise, yeah.
Coming up, speaking of the movies being in theaters, coming up, I think it's in August. Fathom Events has the 1990 TMNT movie coming back to theaters.
Oh yeah, I feel spoiled because I just saw that in the second one at the Review Cinema in Toronto, and I talked about them on the show because they both of them. But they did the opposite because they were like unrestored original like whatever millimeter they were originally on prints that they had. So they were like
35.
yeah, 35 millimeters. So they were like grainy as all hell, and there's a point in both of them where the sound got a bit poppy. But I was like, I feel like this is the better way to watch these.
Yes, I would 100% agree with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like especially with the turtles with their like practical suits and stuff. This I don't think any of this was designed to be seen super high def because that it shows too many holes in the effects.
Right.
Well,
And I
like
mean,
Well, that's the
if you
reason.
look at a lot of old horror movies before
Mhm.
DVDs, a lot of those movies were shot with VHS in mind for the home releases, and then a lot of like definitely 8 and 16-bit video games. Once you get into like PlayStation 1 and N64 and Sega Saturn, not so start to kind of like be on the fence on whether or not there's high def or not. But it really didn't start until like the end of PS2, but it wasn't mainstream until 3, where you had the dedicated high-end plugs. And like the games, especially on those old CRTs, were designed to be, because they would account for, okay, yeah, you might have a pixel art in like 4 colors, but they would count that with the CRT, it's gonna cause a blur that creates like a second color in between two next to each other. So you get maybe 4 colors in the programming, but then with the CRT, it makes it look like there's 3 more, so it ends up looking like 7 colors rather than 4 total. So
Yeah,
there's a thing that
when they restore or remaster old video games, there's an exorbitant amount of work that goes into that. When you buy a game that's been remastered, man, I'm telling you what, you're pretty much buying a new game. My Forza guys, my developers I talked, they um, they were going to remaster 4, and when they were doing it, they actually had to go back and like, okay, on a racetrack, like a safety barrier is like a wall, and then a stack of tires, and then like, you know, some sheet metal or something. So when the car hits the wall, the tires compress and it absorbs the energy from the hit. They had to go back and put treads in all those tires on the side of the back. There are
Wow.
thousands of them.
Wow.
Just ridiculous stuff like that goes into a remaster, man. I'm telling you what, it's a chore.
Metroid Prime remastered on the Switch, which came out last year. People were like, "Well, why aren't you doing remasters of 2 and 3?" And they're like, "Listen, we had to recreate every visual aspect in this AAA GameCube game from scratch in order to do it in HD. It took a while. We got an actual new one to make. So instead, we're making the 4th game. But
Wow.
maybe in the future we'll go remaster 2 and 3. But that's going to take way more time than you think it's going to take. We're not just slapping a texture pack on it."
Yeah, like they did with GTA.
Yeah, exactly. You saw what happened there.
Yeah.
Well, I say with some things, when it, depending on the decade it came out, it's nostalgic of that time, and it reflects that time frame. It's like trying to remaster or in some cases redo something where it's like, well, let's create a newer version of this, and I'm like, it doesn't quite work now because it made sense back then. So it's like, nostalgia, it's okay, but it just doesn't connect to the time and the technology and everything that exists now.
Yeah, I popped a little thing up on screen share. This is the first visual example of this I found on image search. About old pixelated games and the tend to be mastered. Sedum hit on something where he said they were meant to be viewed on CRTs, right? And the reason for that was because the pixel art sort of took that into account and assumed that it wouldn't be sharp and would be blurry. And so the pixel art that they created, they assumed it was going to be blurry and mashed together because it would make it look more like a picture. And I got
sea spray on this screen.
Oh, okay. Let me reshare my screen. There we go. Little image of Princess Peach from Super Mario RPG. First example I could find.
Yeah, actually, just as you got rid of the sea spray, Mario's saying, and I'm calling it right now, sea spray is going to be another exclusive of Walmart that is hard to find, like the Netflix Soundwave and Cosmo from the Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 collection.
Well, here's the thing. They really did it in toy colors instead of show colors means they're definitely opening the door to just do a normal animation version later. But yeah, this visual here is what I was talking about. The CRT on the left is how it would have looked when you were actually playing the game on a TV back in the 90s, where the raw pixels one is what it looks like today. So when they were designing the raw pixel art, it was under the assumption that it was actually going to look like on the left because it was going to be lo-fi, and therefore it was going to look more like a person instead of a bunch of shapes. So that's the danger there with remastering, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
You all
wouldn't
right there,
shock me.
Anthony?
Yeah, I've just got over a disease. I'll be okay, but it's a bit of a road. I think what people are speculating on what will be revealed at SDCC is the second year of Age of the Primes, as in like teased as prototypes. Why was Primes the only word there you didn't capitalize? I mean, yeah, probably. It's either that or more Studio Series stuff, but we haven't seen what's coming next in Age of the Primes in a while. We know they're doing Bruticus, because we saw Vortex, so maybe they'll show us what the new Bruticus is going to look like.
I
Right,
just
because
saw
right
this
now what we have
picture
is
of
Vortex.
Rogue from X-Men versus Devastator from Transformers. ... She won by Makotron.
Devastator
What
versus Rogue.
what a strange matchup. Is it because they're both It's because they're both dressed in green?
Well, you got to remember, like, especially in the '90s cartoon, she's like a heavy hitter. I mean, she's invertibility, super strength, can fly. She'll like take down Sentinels by herself. Like,
Yeah, I was about
she'll
to say. I
literally
guess she has
pick them up by their
experience taking out
feet and twirl
Sentinels.
them around like teddy bears.
I mean, initially Transformers, at least comic book wise, was within the Marvel universe. I wonder what the height of a Sentinel would be compared to Devastator or any other combiner.
Varies.
It's difficult to say because I'm sure because the way Marvel and comics in general love to stat everything out. I'm sure there's like a canon Sentinel height in a bunch of guidebooks somewhere or something. Like they're this many meters tall exactly. I don't know how tall Devastator is supposed to be because it always fluctuates based on the needs of the story. They've never quite
Yep.
kept it consistent.
Yeah, because if you have like the master modes, are typically the biggest Sentinels because they're just the Sentinels that can produce Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the mass-produced Sentinels that are mass-produced by master modes. Then normally you have the sci-fi ones, the Nimrod, the pink and white ones, which are maybe like Shaquille O'Neal size, that type of. So exceptionally tall human size. And then there's Sentinels that are hybrids, like Bastion, which you
Right.
saw in X-Men '97,
Yep.
where he turns out to be the big bad, and he's literally a Sentinel human hybrid, so he's just normal human size. So there's that whole, big enough to produce other giant robots to human, size, born from a human mother. So
Yeah.
they run that whole gamut.
Between Nimrod and Sebastian, they are more closer to human size. So I'm thinking between a Sentinel or Master Mold would definitely somewhere in that range would be the size of a combiner. So it would be interesting to see, Marvel and other X-Men characters fighting against the combiners and like what a battle like that would have been.
Yeah, because I would say if there's any Marvel Comics team that would be experienced, skilled at fighting robots, it would be the X-Men, just because the Sentinels are a mainstay of them. I mean, the closest thing next would be like Doombots from Doctor Doom, but they're, meant to be duplicates of Doctor Doom, so
Yeah,
he doesn't have the
Person-sized.
inconvenience of himself showing up. So
those are always funny. I think the one thing is it would be kind of a failing storyline if you throw Magneto in a fight with combiners.
It's never really explained by Marvel if Magneto's powers work on Cybertronian steel. Might just be Earth-based steel.
You know what? There's something to that.
That makes a great storyline right there.
That feels like what a writer would immediately establish if they had to have them fight each other and be like, look, this can't be a curb stomp for dramatic purposes. We got to figure out a way to not have them immediately win. That's exactly what would come up with.
the artisan.
You can have that one for free, Marvel.
Yeah, there you go.
How
is it? You can have that one for free, but send me copies of the issues, and then we'll call it even.
Just remember, it was on Children of Primus first.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. You can have it for free, but give me the credit in the comic book. That way, 20 years from now, I can start sign autographs and still make money.
Yeah. There you go.
Comes back around. What was the and I don't recall his name. I know he passed away some years ago, and he was writing for Warner Brothers, and he was complaining where it's like after he wrote and did all the work, and he's like waiting for the copies of his work. He calls up Warner Brothers and he's like talking to the secretary, and they're like, "Yeah, we can send you out a copy if you pay for it." And you're like, "But I wrote this."
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. What's his name? The that guy who's like
That's
really
just
unpleasant,
dirty.
but always. Uh, uh,
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but
God,
it's
he's a big name science fiction writer.
yeah.
Is it Philip K. Dick? I think maybe. No, it's the guy who wrote "I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream."
Mm,
I'm gonna look that. Harlan Ellison. That's the guy.
that's
Harlan Ellison
hmm
famously got into it with Gene Roddenberry because he wrote "City on the Edge of Forever," and then uh, they were like, "We can't shoot this. This is way too expensive. This would need to be like a two-parter, and it would cost movie money. We got to rewrite it." And he was like, "How dare you rewrite it? I'm going to spend decades being publicly mad that you rewrote this." Yeah. They did a they did a comic book years later that adapted his original script, so I did get to read it, and I was like, wow, yeah, there's no way they could have filmed this in the 60s. It's way too long and complicated, and
oh, jeez.
the the broad strokes made it into the finished series, so it's still the same idea, just a lot more stuff happens.
Isn't
And every
Proto Man supposed to be doing a Mega Man X comic?
but
The guy that does the
Proto
TF
Man like
Slag podcast.
the guy.
Like, yeah, the podcast guy. I don't remember his actual name, but he does a lot of stuff with Aaron Archer on Saturdays,
Yeah,
I think.
Mm-hmm.
dang,
I
yeah, I should
guess
have
this
asked.
is an example of the. I assume this is the artist that he's going to be with.
Oh, if so,
Because
it's
he's
great
at
for
Comic
his
Con,
name.
so.
Yeah, he was there at TFCon because he's a local. He's just like present every year. Could have just asked him. That's how I was
Yeah, because
immediately
I
like
said
Proto Man,
it's.
like the guy who's at like every TFCon.
Mm,
Yeah, he said he's going to be doing panels with Udon Entertainment, which would be who would be the publisher of the Capcom comics. So makes sense. Edwin Han, Huang.
Oh, Impactor's there. He says, I can't join tonight, so which is unfortunate. So I have a few things to say. So the first thing is I'm at 341 subs on my channel, which is
nice.
great again. That seems to be growing at a steady clip because you were at 300 not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, what do you guys think of the new intro? I loved it. It was really elaborate. Way more high concept than anything you've ever previously done. All your work is excellent. This continues to be excellent.
yeah, Hector, I didn't. I was rushing late. I was still setting up when it was played, so I haven't got to see it yet, but I'll see it on the rewatch.
Yeah, well, you know what? Teletran 2 will also open with it, so
Ah,
if
there
you're
you
still
go.
here. Yeah.
There you go. Well, you know what? I think we could also just run it right now. Just
That would work.
Yeah,
since
let's
we're
do it.
talking
Yeah,
about
why
it.
not?
I want to see it.
All right. So our new intro that we are for our Children of Primus Sundays.
Mhm.
Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. Children of Primus. Children of Primus.
Yeah, I love the way the logo keeps appearing, like the way it comes out of Optimus's matrix and stuff.
Yeah, that ass. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
And the
love it.
thing is, when I asked the impactor to work on it, I was just like, you have creative control, but also think of like season 1, season 2 intros. So go with that theme, but then bring your own characters into it, and then just run with it. So he
yeah, because
worked on it and worked on it, and then when he showed me, I'm like, that's it. That's
yeah,
it right there. Because I think any other channel has something like that.
yeah, because I was gonna say, like, it reminds me of one of the G1 openings, but it doesn't actually have anything from any of them directly that I immediately clock, even though it has like the choreography of what could have been in one of them.
Hmm.
I like the variety of like figures on display there. They have like three different Optimuses get used at different points. Multiple different Megatrons and like every generation of stuff.
I love how he made Megatron shrink down to fit Soundwave's hand.
Yeah,
That was really
it's
cool.
it's always a neat trick to see done like that.
Yep. Oh, and Mario's saying, also not spoiling anything for the recent issue of Transformers Skybound, issue 23, something unexpected happened.
Let me tell you, I'm going to be gone for a week in August. I'm taking a vacation. I'm going up to a cottage that my family's renting. I'm going to bring my long box with me and catch up on everything while I'm there. Like, I'm bringing it with me, and that's my mission, because that's what I did last year, too.
Nice.
just,
Oh,
just, just read, Chuck, read, Chuck, back in.
what segment are we doing reveals on?
On the Teletrend 2. So that will
Gotcha.
be
Okay.
our following segment that starts 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
12 more minutes.
I got a kit I can build while I'm doing that, if I can figure out how to get it set up here.
Kid, another blokey?
Yeah, a large blokey. That was part of my TFCon haul. Not a little guy, a big guy.
Is it like the Megatron, Optimus, or Soundwave? One of those action class?
Oh, you'll see. What I want for this space is I want a table right here that I can set up but also collapse. And if I can find something like that, then this would be perfect, because then I can just pan the camera over here. I got a bin here, which I guess I'll build it on, but it's just down on the ground right now.
Mm.
This is me just talking shop as I go.
Yeah, you just moved, so I know exactly. I know exactly the mindset you're in, where it's
Yeah.
almost like that one scene with Stark, in one of the Iron Man, and it's just like, just let's rip apart everything and get back into development mode. Let's build it for whatever phase we're moving into next.
Yeah. So the funny thing, I've been gradually shooting and reviewing the Omega Prime stuff, right? Yesterday, because I was just like, in quarantine in my room, I was like, all right, let's get as much stuff in here as I can. I'm just going to do the photo shoot for the Optimus part of it all in one go. And it's all done. It's all ready to go. But because I've been constantly changing locations, every one of my photo shoots for every part of Omega Prime is visibly in a different location. They all I keep the white background and the lighting, so there's consistency, but you can always tell because like the floor is different. That they've always been the photography keeps always being in a different place each review.
Well, how long have you been where you're at now? Like a month or two?
I don't know.
I assume you're still kind of figuring out how light coming into the house mount doors and your indoor lighting and where all the shade and better spots are in that house, I would imagine, or apartment or whatever it is, I would say. Take a while.
I mean, we're still not unpacked. We still got boxes in the hallway and stuff.
Yeah.
My combined my crazy weekend that I just got back to, that was supposed to, now that I was like, okay, well, now that that's done, I can start unpacking things in earnest. Not that I haven't been unpacking. And then we both get like incredibly sick, so we're like, well, I guess we're not starting that yet. So I'll survive.
Actually, let's say for the last the last 8 minutes of this stream, thoughts on Transformers Cyber World.
Let me start by saying I was expecting nothing. I thought it was going to be just like slop, and then it wound up being way, way better than I was expecting. There's actual money behind the animation. There's actual writing going on with the dialogue. Optimus out like a snarker and a funny guy again, which I haven't really seen since like Sunbow. They got like it's a different premise. It's a little bit of a mystery happening. I'm actually impressed, but like I went in not expecting anything, and I'm like, wow, you guys, you're doing something here. You're putting together a nice little well animated mystery show with like a video game Lost Island thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I like it.
Well, they did say they're going to pivot more toward video games. Why not make the show more video game like?
Yeah. For anybody that didn't watch it, here's the pitch. Optimus Prime falls from the sky, lands on like a tropical island, and has no memory of how he got there.
Hmm.
and a Grimlock that he doesn't know is there, who has an Eastern European accent, which is a great take on the character because he gets to do the me Grimlock stuff, uh, and have an Eastern European accent. Scorp's there. All these weird hazards are there. Bumblebee also falls and lands in a different part of the world. He has no memory of how he got there either. They both remember something, and it's obviously part of the ongoing mystery because they don't quite know. Bumblebee meets Megatron. Megatron's been there for a while, and he's like, "We're all equal here. There's no war. Just surviving and completing things for Energon." And there's like a video game-ish thing happening because there keeps being these drops of Energon or weapons popping out. Megatron and Bumblebee get caught up in some sort of a break the targets challenge that a computer announces. And Bumblebee wins it to Megatron's frustration because Megatron didn't listen to the rules properly.
Hmm.
And the three of them converge at the end, and it's like we're stuck on this weird in this weird, strange organic land. How did we get here? Why are we giving these challenges? What's going on? Yeah, so it's a that's the and I'm interested in seeing where it goes, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, that sounds
But
like a. I'm trying to think what that sounded like to me. Alex in Borderland, because without their consent, they kind of find themselves in this other world, and they have to participate in these games.
yeah,
It's not necessary. It's not like battle royale where you have like death competition or Squid Games where everybody's trying to kill each other. It sounds like
yeah.
you try to win. There is a competitive. Maybe there's some points aspect that might come up late at given enough
Yeah.
time that you might
Well,
find out eventually.
I feel like the only reason there isn't like a death component is because this is being aimed at kids. But other than
Yeah.
that, it does make me think of like Squid Games or Battle Royale or
Well,
whatever.
even maybe
Just
like the
light.
I'm trying to remember the first two seasons of Reboot by Mainframe Entertainments who did Beast Wars
Yeah.
and how they would have the game, but maybe instead of having the game imposes on the world, you get outsiders imposed onto the game world instead
Yeah.
without their
I
consent.
guess it is
So,
kind of reboot it adjacent.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
there's this
Alex
running
in
gag of
Borderline, that's the closest thing I can think of because it doesn't have that. What? How did we get here? Where are we? It has that aspect. Whereas, like I said, Squid Game and Battle Royale have that. They know what is going on. Well, maybe not Battle Royale, but Squid Games, they consent to it.
yeah. You saw there in the clip. There's this running joke. This Optimus doesn't quite know what organic life is, and he finds it weird and gross.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like this take on the character because he's still like the big speech guy, but he doesn't take himself quite as seriously. He's allowed to joke around. It,
Was
it
it
does make me think of like early Sunbow Peter Cullen a little bit almost.
I'm surprised
a
that
booby
they
trap
brought
for a boob?
Yeah.
Scorponok in and they actually made him look proper.
Posing.
Well, this is directly tied into the Cyberworld toy line. It's very straight up adapting those. Like that is what the Optimus looks like they're doing, and Scorponok is the big figure in the line so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which five figures the toy guy got copies of from Hasbro.
Yeah,
The Optimus, the Megatron, the
and Grimlock.
Galvatron, the Bumblebee, and the Grimlock.
Yeah, and there's Eastern European Grimlock, which is my favorite creative decision of this show to give him that accent. You've heard of Russian Ravage, now get ready for Russian Grimlock, basically.
Oh, just for
Decepticons
Russian.
forever!
Yeah,
We had
they do
Russian
the Jurassic
Ravage
Park T Rex in the mirror.
on Saturday at TFCon.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched this because I was at my brother's wedding on the Saturday, which I'll get into more. I watched this on my phone because it's the point in the day where wedding's not for several hours, but we've literally done all the prep that we have, so I've got a couple hours to just chill. And I was like, "Oh, this is out. Let me just watch this."
Impact
Yeah, there's when
December.
Bumblebee landed.
My aunt got me the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack and the 2-pack with the Orion packs and Senator Shockwave, and then the War for Cybertron Katie 2-pack with Mirage and Grimlock and Legacy DevCon War for Cybertron Katie Red Alert.
That's a lot of stuff. Hey, how's Kingdom Grimlock look for you? Because mine is incredibly yellowed.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I'm glad you clarified that was the first episode, because it really feels like you're thrown into like the second or third episode at that point.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
in media race. That's the whole idea,
Yeah.
is that you're supposed to not know what's going on along with them.
Yeah, Optimus and Bumblebee know what's going on. I just showed the bit where Bumblebee's like vaguely remembering something, but he doesn't know what it is. Yeah. Megatron changes into a bull for some reason. It's an interesting design.
Mm-hmm. I do find it cool that the Optimus and Grimlock, like almost every iteration, like the two of them are always battling each other at some point.
Yeah. I might be wrong about this, but it seems like Optimus doesn't know who Grimlock is, so they're not from the same universe. But Bumblebee does know who Megatron is, and Megatron recognizes him, so they're probably from the same world. And it's implied Megatron's been stuck here way longer than them, so because he already sort of knows how the world works and is already like not trying to fight them because he's like, no, there's no factions here. We just got to survive.
Now that I think about it, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
break
trying to
the
remember
targets.
what's the name of the Japanese series that's going on at the same time? Wild King.
Wild King. Oh yeah,
And
this
I
is
find
way
it
better
interesting
than.
that Megatron in that has been on the planet longer than the Optimus in that series as well. I mean, that might just be coincidental, but it's interesting coincidence nonetheless, I think.
Impact Production says it's in the box. I haven't opened it. No yellowing. Oh, let me show you mine real quick. Jeez, it's pretty dire. If I can find it. I think he fell over.
And that original Beast Wars tour of that version of Grimlock has GPS, so I have the two versions. You got the one that has GPS and the modern one has yellowing, so you're screwed either way.
Yeah. I don't know where he is right now. Shelves are still half set up, but yeah, he's incredibly yellowed. Parts of him are like chicken noodle soup colored, and he's supposed to be white all over. So
Cool. Well, we're going to end this end of Teletran 1. Daniel Evans has left an insightful comment, so we'll leave it on the screen for everyone as we round out this segment of Teletran 1 Frenzy Freestyle Sunday, and we're going to be starting Teletran 2 within the next minute. So like and subscribe until all are one.
Till all are one.
Till all are one. I'm going to assume he was talking about Optimus Prime there in his statement.
We return you to the Children of Primus.